Hi friends, my name is Suzynanda and welcome to my paradise in the wilderness. So I'd like for you to join me in the next hour to connect your mind, spirit, heart, and body in this flow of Hatha Yoga, where we'll incorporate breathing exercises, yoga asanas, and just feeling that sense of love for yoga. So you'll need to have some props. A block, a strap would also be helpful. And in the breathing exercises, if you'd like to sit on a small cushion to elevate your hips, that could be an option. So coming onto your mat, start with your legs crossed. Another option would be to have your legs straight out in front of you in plank. And the whole purpose of this sitting position is to create a straight alignment of your spine from your head down through your neck, your back, and down into your lumbar spine. Close your eyes and notice your normal breathing. Moving into diaphragmatic breathing, start out with a deep inhale. So you feel your chest expand along with your collarbones. And when you exhale, relax your diaphragm. Inhale to a count of 4. Exhale to a count of 4. Breathe in deeper, inhaling to a count of 5. Exhaling to a count of 5. Take the next breath even deeper. Inhale to a count of 6. Exhale to a count of 6. If you're able to, inhale to a count of 7. Exhale to a count of 7. Notice your body and what you're feeling. If you notice any aches or pains, breathe into those places in your body by concentrating and focusing on that area. Also, pay attention to anything that feels particularly good today in your body. Recognize your emotions and see if you can find a word to label it and how you're feeling. Try to find a word other than good or bad, something more descriptive. Notice your thoughts as they're coming and going, just like people coming in and out of a town square. It's okay to have lots of thoughts, but the more you focus on your breath and taking deeper breaths, it will help you to focus on one thought instead of many racing thoughts. Breathe into your heart and allow it to connect with your soul. just recognize how you've been connecting with your soul lately. And finally, set an intention for our time together as we enjoy yoga and the practice of connecting mind, body, and spirit. Come into downward facing dog by lifting your hips up towards the sky. Allow your ears to come in between your arms. Feel that stretch in your back, hamstrings, your calf muscles. Walk your feet up towards your hand into standing forward fold. On your next inhale, come up to a halfway lift and fall back into forward fold. Circle sweep your arms up in the air, hands down to heart center. Inhale, bringing your hands up in the air, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Circle sweep the arms up in the air, hands down to heart center. Inhale, bringing your hands back up in the air into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, coming down into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Hips up towards the sky, ears in between the arms. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Inhale and bring your arms up into Warrior One. Interlace your hands behind your back. Allow your chest to expand, opening it up towards the sky. Release your hands, bring them back up into the air, and bring your hands back down onto the mat. Right foot forward into your forward fold and circle sweep your arms back up into the air, hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms up in the air, forward fold, down into downward facing dog. Bring your right foot forward. Inhale up into a Warrior One on the right hand side. Interlacing your hands behind your back and open up your chest to the sky. Circle your hands back up in the air, down onto the mat, and come onto all fours. So you'll want your wrists below your shoulders, knees below your hips. We'll move into 6 movements of the spine. Starting out with the inhale into cat, curve your spine up towards the sky, tuck your chin and your tailbone under on your inhale. Exhale, opposite direction, head up in the air, tailbone up in the air into cow. Inhale into cat, exhale into cow. Inhale, cat, exhale into cow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale into cat, exhale into cow. Move into side to side. Hands back into all fours. Your wrists below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Turning to the right and looking at your right foot Notice that C shape in your right side. This is your inhale. Your exhale is looking back at the left foot. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale it out. Back into all fours, wrists below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Bring your right arm out to the side, up in the air, and then tuck it into behind your left arm and in front of your left knee, threading the needle. Come down onto your right arm and lift your left arm up in the air. Tuck it around your lower back so your fingers are touching the top of your right thigh. Take a few deep breaths into this position. Notice your spinal rotation. Release your left hand, bring it down onto the mat, coming up into all fours. Same routine, opposite side. Lift the left hand up in the air, circling it up towards the sky, and then thread that needle behind your right arm, in front of your right leg, coming down on your left arm, lifting your right arm up in the air, tucking it around your lower back so your fingers are touching the top of your left thigh. Notice this spinal rotation and if it feels different from the opposite side. You could have symmetry or you could be asymmetrical in your spine and sacrum. Release your right hand and arm, bringing it down on the mat, pushing up into all fours. Bring your left hand and arm up in the air, tuck your left toes onto the mat for balance, and bring your right leg up in the air. On the inhale, bring your left elbow to your right knee. Exhale it out. Inhale it together. Exhale it out. Inhale it. Exhale it out. Inhale it. Exhale it out. Inhale. Extend the arm, extend the leg. For a deeper stretch, bring your left hand down onto the mat. Take your right hand and take hold of your right foot, stretching it up towards the sky. Find your balance. Stretch deeper. And focus on your drishti, or focal point. Release your right foot. Same routine, opposite side, extended arm, extended leg. This time, your right arm coming forward, left leg coming up and back. Inhale, bring the elbow to the knee. Exhale it out. Inhale it together. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale it out. For a deeper stretch, tuck those right toes on your mat. Find your balance with your right arm on the mat, left arm taking a hold of your left foot, stretching it out. Find your focal point. Breathe into the position and lift that foot foot up even higher if it feels right. Release your left foot. Bring it in between your hands in the front of your mat. Lean back so your buttocks touches the top of your right heel. Come forward, lifting up into a runner's lunge. Find your balance, and on your next inhale, bring both hands up on top of your left thigh. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up in the air, hands down to heart center. Right elbow resting on the left thigh, back of your thumbs touching your left shoulder. Take some deep breaths into this position. Notice your spinal rotation. And you're squeezing your organs. For a deeper stretch, bring your right hand down next to your right foot, lifting your left hand up in the air, rotating your hands so you're looking at the palm of your hand. Spread those fingers out and feel that stretch from your pinky down to your elbow and your left shoulder, your left side, your left hip, all the way down to your left knee and even into your left toes. All connected by fascia. Bring your left hand back down on the mat. Slowly come down onto your right knee. Bring your left foot out to the side. Into gate pose. Come up into a kneeling position. Shoulders back, down and away from the ears. Chest is out. Left hand is going down the left IT band. At the same time, your right hand is coming up into a crescent shape and leaning over towards the left. With each breath, see if you can bend a little bit deeper to bring those fingers down below the left side of the knee. Bringing the right arm down by your side. Same routine, opposite side. Right foot in between the two hands in the front of the mat. Lean back by sitting on your left heel. Coming back up and pushing yourself up into a runner's lunge. On your inhale, bring both hands up to your right thigh. Your next inhale, circle sweep your arms up in the air, down to heart center. This time, open it up to the right. Left elbow resting on the right thigh. Back of the thumbs are touching your right shoulder. See if you can keep your balance steady and strong. And for a deeper stretch, bring your left hand down onto the mat, lifting your right hand up in the air, rotating so you can see the palm of your hand. And feel that stretch from your right pinky down through your right elbow, your right shoulder, your right rib cage, into your right hip, your right knee, and all the way down to your right toe. Bringing your right arm down onto the mat, come down onto your left knee. This time, open your gate to the right. Right leg out to the side, coming up into a kneeling position. Right hand is going down the right IT band. At the same time, circle your left arm up into a crescent shape leaning over towards the right side. With each breath, bend a little bit deeper into this move. See if you can go past your right knee externally. Bring your left hand down by your side. Bring your right leg back into your mat. Coming into a seated position. Knees are bent. Fingers are facing forward. Pushing through both feet evenly, both palms evenly. Bring your pelvic floor up towards the sky into a table. Notice your alignment of your hips. You can level your hips out. Take a deep breath and see if you can lift your pelvic area up even higher. Coming back down into a seated position. Bringing your back down onto the mat, knees are still bent, and moving up into bridge. Spread your fingers out onto the mat, pushing through your palms and your feet, lifting your pelvic area up towards the sky. And with each breath, lift up your pelvic area a little bit higher. And hold this position. Gradually coming back down onto your mat. Bring your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your knees, and just rock slowly from side to side. Give yourself a little massage of the spine. Coming towards the front of your mat, still in a seated position. Come into a shoulder stand. Bringing your legs up into the air. For this inversion, we'll move into plow. You could crisscross your ankles. And slowly bring your feet down towards the floor. Slowly coming out of plow. Back down onto your mat. Come up into a standing position. For steady standing mountain pose, bring your big toes together so they're touching. Your heels are separated, soft at the knees. Think about a plumb line coming from the outside of your ankle, the outside of your knee, up your hip. Tilt your pelvis area by bringing your belly button towards your spine, squeezing the buttocks together, shoulders back and away from your ears, chest is out, chin is level with the floor, and breathing through your nose. Breathing through your nose brings in warmth, moisture, cleanses the air, and brings that oxygen into your lungs. Think of it as a gift. Circle sweep your hands into heart center, bringing your fingers into a steeple with your index fingers. Come up, lengthen up through the spine, and then on your next inhale, Bend over towards the left. And with each breath, see if you can bend a little bit deeper. And hold this position. Back up to the center position. Lengthen up through the spine. And this time, bending over to the opposite side. Coming back up into a standing position. Shake out your hands, your toes. Coming into a steady balance. Start out by externally opening up your right hip. Put your right heel. Balance it on top of your left ankle. Come into a straight alignment of your spine. Bring your hands up into goal post. Put your right foot on top of your left knee. Gradually come down into a seated position. Hinge forward at the hips and allow your fingertips to touch the top of the mat. Gradually come back up into a standing position, allowing your right leg to wrap around your left leg. If you're able to, tuck your toes behind your left shin. Arms are halfway up, bringing them together, bending at the elbows, interlacing your hands so your palms are touching each other, and lift out and up, down into a seated position, and breathe into this eagle. Feel the connection with the earth, nature, or the comfort of your own home, or wherever you're practicing yoga today. Releasing the hands. Same routine, opposite side. Externally open up your left hip by bringing your left heel on top of your right ankle, bringing your arms up into goal post. Lift your right foot on top of your right knee. Come down into a seated position. Hinge forward at the hips, allowing your fingertips to touch the top of the mat. Slowly come back up into a standing position, wrapping your left leg around your right leg. If you're able to tuck your toes behind your left shin. If you don't have as much flexibility on this side, you can always balance yourself by allowing your left toes to touch the top of the mat. Arms out to the side, halfway up. Bring your left elbow on top of your right, bending at the elbows, allowing your palms to come together. Come down into a seated position, stretching your arms up and out. And breathe into this eagle with deep gratitude. Exhale it out by giving back to the earth. releasing your arms, releasing your legs. Take your prop, your block. We'll start out by putting the block on the right side. So you want it towards the edge of your mat, and by moving into stork, you want a strong and steady left leg. So balance yourself on your left foot. Inhale, bringing your arms halfway up along with your right thigh. On the next inhale, bring your arms all the way up in the air. Arms are out to the side. Keep track of your focal or your drishti. Push your right leg back into the air, into an airplane and warrior three. Take your block, move it over to the left side of your mat, holding onto your block, bringing your right arm up in the air, lifting your right leg up in the air and opening up at the hips. For a deeper stretch, take hold of that right foot and stretch it up in the air. Release your right foot. Come back up into a standing position. Take hold of your right knee. See if you can kiss your knee. And then take hold of your right foot. Coming into dancer pose with a steady left leg. Coming forward, putting your left hand into a mudra and stretching it out into dancer pose. Take hold of your right foot. Bring your right foot forward. Left hand out to the side and open up your right side. Same routine, opposite side. This time, we'll actually start out with the block on the right side. That will be the right way this time. Inhale by bringing both arms halfway up. Up over your head. Out to the side. Coming into airplane mode, or warrior three. Put your right hand down on your block. Left arm is up in the air. Opening up your left hip into half moon pose. For a deeper stretch, take hold of your left foot. Stretch it out. Release your left foot. Come back up into a standing position. This time, kiss your left knee and move into dancer. Take hold of your left foot. Leaning forward with your right hand in a mudra. Opening up that left foot, left leg. Breathe into this position. With a strong and steady right leg, Take hold of the inside of your left foot, stretching it out in front of you. Right arm out to the side. Open up your left hip. Coming into warrior. Left foot is at the front of the mat. Right foot slightly turned 2 to 3 feet between your feet. Bringing your hips facing the front of the mat. Lunge into it with your left knee, midline over your toes. Inhale and circle sweep your arms up in the air, looking up towards the sky. Bring your right hand down your right IT band. Rotate your left palm so you're looking up at your palm and leaning back down your right thigh into reverse warrior. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open up your chest. And bring the crown of your head down towards the mat. Lifting your hands up in the air. Bring your hands into your back pockets. Straighten out your left leg. Leaning forward into pyramid pose. Heel toe your left foot into the center of your mat. Bring your right foot into the center of the mat. Lunge into the position into warrior 2. Left knee is midline over your toes. Bringing your arms halfway up to the side. Open up your right palm towards the sky. Bend your left arm by bringing that left elbow and resting it on the left thigh. Rotate your right palm. Stretch out your fingers, feeling that stretch all the way from your fingers to your shoulder, down through your side. Straighten out your left leg. Left hand goes down your left IT band and stretch it out into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Circling your right arm down and around. We'll do the same routine on the right side. Right foot facing the front of the mat, left foot slightly turned. Hips are facing forward, right knee midline over your right toes. Inhale and circle sweep your arms up in the air into warrior 1. Bringing your left hand going down your left hamstring. Rotating your palm. Stretching it out in reverse warrior. Interlacing your hands behind your back. Open up your chest, up towards the sky. And then bring the crown of your head down towards the mat, lifting your hands up towards the sky, into humble warrior. Hands in your back pockets. Straighten out your right leg. Lift your head up as you're leaning forward into pyramid pose. Heel toe your right foot towards the center of the mat. Bring your left foot in as if you're standing on a tightrope. Still lunging to the right side, moving into warrior 2. Arms are halfway up to the side. open up your left palm, bending at the right elbow, coming down so your right elbow is resting on your right knee. Stretching it out on the left side by rotating your palm. Feeling that connection of the stretch all the way from the top to the core of your body, down to the mat. Straighten out that right leg, bring your arm down your right IT band and stretch it even deeper into Trikonasana. Keep a nice alignment of your spine in this triangle pose. Circle your left arm, bringing it down and around. Toes are facing the outside of the mat. Lunge into the position, moving into goddess, bringing your arms up into goalpost. On your next inhale, we're going to take a deep inhale, and when we exhale it, hinging forward at the hips, letting it all out. And it looks like this. Ha! 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 Straighten your legs. Bring your feet in, do a heel toe, and stretch it out. Your hands up in the air, arching your back into standing starfish. Feel that stretch through your whole body. Heel toe your feet together, hands down to heart center. Coming down into a seated position, Uttanasana, and twisting it open to the right with your left elbow resting on your right knee. Back of your thumb is touching your right shoulder. Feel your belly breathing on top of your thighs. Stretch it out on the left side. Bring your hands over to the left side so your right elbow is resting on your right thigh. Back of the thumbs touching your left shoulder. And breathing into this position so you feel your belly expanding into your thighs on your inhale. And exhaling it, relaxing your belly. Coming down into a seated kneeling position. You can have your feet flat or be up on your toes, hands to heart center, pushing your knees out to the side into garland pose. Bring your hands down onto the mat for a deeper challenge. Bring both hands onto the mat so you have equal balance throughout your whole hand. Bring your hips up into the air. Your knees are coming into your armpits. Allow yourself to balance your knees on your arms into stork. Come down onto your knees, interlace your fingers into a dolphin pose. Rest the back of your head in your palms.
Lift your hips up towards the sky. Walk your toes in towards your head. You want to do a kick here. Take hold of your block. You might need it for the next position. Angle it at the back right. Moving into pigeon. Bend your right leg. Come down and allow that block to rest just below your right hip. With both hands on either side of your right knee, stretch out your spine. Feel yourself getting longer. And then walk your hands forward. Resting your forehead on the mat. Walk your hands back up towards your right knee. Take hold of your left foot. Bring your right hand into a mudra and stretch it out into king pigeon. Hands back down on the mat, left foot back down onto the mat, and bring your left foot all the way to the outside of your mat, at the front of your mat. Straighten out your right leg and allow yourself to come down onto your forearms on the mat while your left knee is up in the air. For an easier stretch in this position, you can move your left foot out away from the mat, or to make it more challenging, move it in towards the mat. Walk your hands back up towards your right knee. Prepare for pigeon on the opposite side. Tilt your block at the bottom left side of your mat. Bend your left leg. Allow your left hip to come onto the block. Right leg is straight. Hands are on either side of your left knee. Lengthening out your spine. Notice what you're feeling in your body. When you're ready to move into the deeper stretch, walk your hands forward on the mat and bring your forehead down onto the mat. Walk your hands back up towards your left knee. Bend at the right knee. Take hold of your right foot. Put your left hand in a mudra and move into king pigeon. Left hand back down on the mat. Release your right foot. Push yourself up. You can move your block away and bring your right foot all the way up towards the front right side of the mat, off the mat. Left leg is straight. Moving into lizard. Come down onto your forearms. To make it more challenging, move your right foot closer to the mat, or pressure you may be feeling on your hips. See if you can bring your elbows all the way down onto the mat. Come back up onto your hands. Bring your right foot back onto your hands and knees. And come down onto the mat. Bring your belly on the mat. Hands down by your side. Feet are touching. Come down onto your left cheek. And on your next inhale, you'll lift up your hands and your feet. As you breathe into this position, notice your rib cage expanding and contracting. Bring it back down onto the mat, turning your cheek. So this time you're on your right cheek. On your next inhale, lifting up and breathing into this position. Bringing your feet and your hands back down onto the mat. Take hold of your ankles. And on your next inhale, lifting up at the ankles into bow pose. With each breath, notice your body may rock forward and back. Releasing your ankles, pushing yourself up into a Sphinx pose. You could have your hands and your arms long, or you could come down onto your forearms. Moving up into plank. Your wrists are a little bit wider than your shoulders. Bring your left hand in the middle of the mat. Open your plank up to the right by lifting your right arm up in the air. And if you feel comfortable, lift that right leg up in the air as well. See if you can hold your balance here. Bring your right foot down onto the mat, right hand down on the mat, back into the plank. Same routine, opposite side. Bring your right hand in the middle of the mat, open it up to the right side, lifting your left arm up in the air, left foot up in the air, opening up at the hips. Releasing back down onto the mat. Come down onto your knees and back into child's pose. Open your knees up so they're touching the edges of the mat. Allow your forehead to come down onto the mat. And move your child's pose over to the right side by walking your hands over towards the right. Bring your child's pose back into the center with your forehead touching the mat. Walking your hands over towards the left side of the mat. So you're stretching your child's pose out to the left side. Bring your hands back towards the center of the mat. Come into a seated position. Lift the skin away from your sit bones. Take your strap. Wrap your strap around the bottom of your feet, the balls of the feet. sit tall, lengthen up through the spine, hinge forward at the hips, and wrap your strap around your hand as you're bringing your head down towards your knees. Hold this position for muscle memory. You may notice over time you're able to bend deeper and hold the stretch longer. Slowly coming back up into a seated plank position. Wrap that strap around your left foot. Bring the sole of your right foot inside your left thigh. Lengthen up through the spine. Hinge forward at the hips. Bringing head down to knee. Slowly coming back up into a plank seated position. This time the strap will go around your right foot. The sole of your left foot is inside your right thigh. Wrap that strap around your right foot. Lengthen up through the spine. Hinge forward at the hips, bringing your head down towards your knee. You may notice that you're more flexible on one side than the other. Slowly coming back up into a seated position, putting your strap to the side. Allow that left foot to come on the outside of the right knee. Wrap your right arm around your left knee. Fingers pointed towards the back, looking over your left shoulder. Right hand is in a mudra. Allowing yourself to gaze back behind you. Feel that rotation of your spine. Notice that you're squeezing your stomach and your pancreas and your appendix and your intestines. Releasing your right arm. Bring your left leg back on the mat. This time bring your right foot on the outside of your left knee and wrap your left arm around your right knee. Bring that left hand into a mudra. Your right fingers are facing the back of the mat, gazing over your right shoulder. And this time you're squeezing your liver and gallbladder. Bringing nutrients into those organs. Releasing your left arm. Scoot up towards the front of your mat. Bending at the knees. Come down onto your back. Arms are halfway out to the side like a T. Feet are on the edges of the mat. On your inhale, allow your knees to fall to the right side, but keeping your hips on the mat. On the exhale, allow your knees to fall onto the left side. Inhale it to the right. Exhale it to the left. Inhale it to the right. Exhale it to the left. Wrap your right knee around your left knee. Interlace your hands up over your head, pointing your index finger to a steeple. Allow your knees to fall to the left, and your hands are reaching up to the right side as you're gazing up towards the right.